The email arrived on a Tuesday morning. Its subject line a single, cold word. Conclusion. I was in the office of my workshop, a space that smelled perpetually of leather polish, metal, and motor oil. On the old radio in the corner, a Bach cello sonata was playing softly, a calm counterpoint to the hum of the fluorescent lights. I was on the phone with a specialist in Germany, negotiating the price of an authentic Bosch distributor cap for a 1965 Porsche 911, a 6-month restoration project that was nearing its final, perfect assembly. The email notification popped up silently on my screen. It was from my wife, Isabel. I finished my call, confirming the shipment, then clicked it open. "Leo," it began. "I'm sure this won't be a surprise. I'm leaving. I need a life with more vibrancy. Stephen and I are moving to the coast. I've taken what I need from our joint savings to start over. It's time I lived a life as beautiful as the ones you build for your cars. Try not to be so boring in your next life." As I read that last line, a specific memory surfaced with the clarity of a freshly polished mirror. A winter evening 2 years ago, at a dinner with her friends. I was excited, trying to explain the intricate process of hand-forming an aluminum panel for a rare Aston Martin. She had patted my arm, a placid, dismissive smile on her face, and said to the table, "He's so brilliant with his passions. But couldn't you just try to be a little less about the boring details, darling? You're losing us." The table had laughed politely. I had felt myself shrink. My hand was steady now as I moved the mouse to archive the email. My voice had been even on the phone. The only sign that my 10-year marriage had just been executed was a muscle tightening in my jaw, a familiar clench. I walked out of the office and into the main workshop, the vast, quiet space where my real life resided. I ran a hand along the cool, sweeping fender of a 1961 Alfa Romeo Giulietta Spider I'd finished last month. These cars had an honesty to them. They were complex, demanding even, but they never pretended to be something they weren't. In the end, they were more real to me than she had become. My name is Leo, I'm 43, and my wife had just left me for a 30-year-old lifestyle entrepreneur who'd convinced her that my life's work was a quaint, greasy hobby. She must have pictured me crumbling amongst the engine blocks and tool chests, lost without her. She forgot that my entire profession is about seeing the hairline fractures beneath a shiny coat of paint. The signs had been there for months, like a misfire in a perfectly tuned engine. Subtle at first, then impossible to ignore. The turning point had been 3 months prior. At a dinner party she insisted we host for Stefan and his investor friends. I spent the evening listening to Stefan speak in buzzwords about synergizing potential and actualizing a new paradigm, all while he drank my best whiskey. He looked at me, a man with grease under his fingernails and a tangible business, with a kind of pitying condescension. He saw me as a relic. The real alarm bell was a significant withdrawal from our joint account labeled seed investment. When I confronted her gently, she became defensive. "Leo, it's a sure thing. Stefan is a genius. It's an opportunity, and you just don't understand because you're always so cautious. Don't you support my dreams?" I let it go, but I photographed the bank statement. That was the week I had my first meeting with my lawyer, Alicia. "I build things to last," I told her, sitting in her clean, quiet office that felt a world away from my own. "My cars, my reputation, I thought my marriage was one of them. If that pillar is crumbling, I have to reinforce the other two. We reviewed the articles of my business. I had incorporated it as a limited liability company 3 years before I even met Isabel. Alicia had smiled, a sharp, confident expression. "This," she said, tapping the thick document, "is a firewall of reinforced steel. They can't touch the business itself. Now let's talk about protecting you." So when Isabel, a week later, had suggested merging my business finances with our personal accounts to simplify things, I had cheerfully agreed, knowing my real assets were already secure. The joint account she had just emptied, it was a stage. I had left a respectable, but not life-altering sum in it, a prop to make her believe she was executing a successful heist. My phone buzzed. A photo from Isabel, posted to social media. It was her and Stefan, smiling, standing in front of a brand new, gleaming white convertible. "Our new journey begins. Vibrant life. No regrets," the caption read. I recognized the dealership. A quick call to the bank confirmed my suspicion. A massive down payment had been charged to our joint credit card yesterday. My parting gift, apparently. I took a screenshot. I didn't call her. I didn't text. My next call was to the credit card company's fraud department. "My card has been used for a significant, unauthorized purchase," I said calmly. "I believe it constitutes spousal financial abuse. I have an email from my wife stating she has left me and is using our shared funds to start a new life with another man. Yes, I can forward it to you and my lawyer immediately." There was a brief pause on the line, then a very professional, yet audibly satisfied, "We will handle it, Mr. Rossi. We will open an investigation right away." The fallout was swift and satisfying. First came a hysterical, garbled voicemail from Isabel. "The car! They took my car, Leo, in front of everyone at the hotel valet. The dealership said the down payment was fraudulent. What did you do? You will regret this," Stefan says. "Stefan says you're a monster." Then, an email directly from Stefan himself, dripping with arrogant condescension. "You're playing a dangerous game, old man. You can't stop progress or true love. You should be happy for her liberation from your stagnant energy." I forwarded it to Alicia with a simple note. More for the file. The final piece of their plan crumbled 2 days later. I received a call from the leasing manager of a high-end apartment complex in Santa Barbara. "Mr. Rossi, we're calling to confirm your lease agreement. We just need to finalize some details, though our system flagged your signature as irregular." I calmly explained the situation. "I have never been to your office. My wife has left me, and it appears she has forged my signature. I am emailing you our divorce filing as we speak." There was a shocked silence. Their new home was gone before they had even moved in. That evening, Isabel's father, Frank, called. He was a stern, old-school man I'd always respected. "Leo, Isabel just called me in tears. Said you had her car taken and got them evicted. What on earth is going on?" I explained the situation calmly, factually. The emptied account, the fraudulent down payment, the forged lease. I didn't add any anger or emotion. I just stated the facts. There was a long silence on the other end of the line. The car wasn't a gift?" he finally asked, his voice strained. "No, Frank," I said. "It was theft." I heard him sigh, a sound of deep paternal disappointment. "I see. He told me he was a businessman, an entrepreneur." He is, I replied. He's in the business of spending other people's money. The legal battle that followed was an exercise in methodical demolition. Isabel's lawyer, hired by Stefan, filed a claim for half the value of my business. Her emotional support and sophisticated taste, they argued, were key factors in its growth. The deposition was the turning point. Alicia was brilliant. She had Isabel under oath. "Mrs. Rossi," Alicia began, "you claim to be an ambassador for the brand? Can you tell the court what a matching numbers vehicle is?" Isabel stared blankly. "It's when the parts are all the same color." A court reporter stifled a cough. "And your sophisticated taste," Alicia continued, "did it guide your husband to purchase the '57 Mercedes 300 SL Gullwing, which later won the National Restoration Award?" Isabel brightened slightly. "Yes, absolutely. I adored the silver paint. I told him it was the one." Alicia slid a document across the table. "This is the original factory build sheet, showing the car's only color was graphite gray. Mr. Rossi restored it to its original, historically accurate specifications. Your contribution was not a factor." Finally, Alicia presented large, glossy printouts of Isabel's social media posts. The greasy garage comments. The rusty old toys jokes. "Is this the emotional support you feel entitles you to half of a multi-million-dollar enterprise, Mrs. Rossi?" Their entire case collapsed. Faced with sanctions for filing a frivolous lawsuit and the public humiliation of their scheme being exposed, they withdrew the claim entirely. Months passed. My business, now unburdened, soared. The Jaguar E-Type I restored won Best in Show at the Pebble Beach Concours d'Elegance. A feature in a major car magazine followed. It led to a visit from a legendary car collector, a man I had admired for years. He walked through my shop, saw the work, and commissioned me to restore his prized, one-of-a-kind '38 Bugatti. It was the project of a lifetime. I had to hire a young, eager apprentice named Sam just to keep up. I heard whispers about Isabel. The lifestyle brand never launched. The money ran out. Frank called me one last time. His voice was tired. "She's back, Leo, staying at her mother's. That Stefan character. The police in Arizona are looking for him. Seems we weren't the first family he charmed. She threw away a diamond because she was chasing glitter. I'm just sorry it took me so long to see it." Last week, Isabel called me. Her voice was thin, unrecognizable. She tried a weak, rambling apology, blaming Stefan, blaming the pressure. She asked if there was any way at all. I let her finish, then spoke calmly for the last time. "I'm glad you're safe, Isabel. I wish you well. But that part of my life is over. Goodbye." I hung up. This morning, I finished the restoration on that '65 Porsche. Sam was watching me, his eyes wide with a mix of awe and concentration. "Okay," I said, wiping my hands. "Let's see what she's got." I turned the key. The engine, silent for 20 years, roared to life with a deep, powerful growl. It was a perfect, mechanical symphony of my own making. I thought about the nature of my work, taking something broken, neglected, and with patience and expertise, making it whole and more valuable than ever. I looked at Sam, who was grinning from ear to ear. I tossed him the keys. "Take her for a spin around the block, gently." He looked at me as if I'd handed him the crown jewels. As I watched him carefully drive my masterpiece out into the sunlight, I felt a profound sense of peace. The engine's roar wasn't just about a car. It was the sound of my life moving forward under its own power, with a legacy just beginning.